Hi there. Today I'm going to continue discussing the elbow strike, which I previously did a presentation on the forward elbow, with a presentation on another variation which we're calling the leading elbow, sometimes known as the roundhouse elbow or the elbow hook. This is a technique which uses the hand on the same side as the leading foot. If you're in any kind of balanced position, your normal CQB position, one foot slightly advanced, feet shoulder width apart, balanced, and so on. Usually it's the left foot forward for most right-handed people, so the left arm is used for this strike. It's closer to the target than the forward elbow. It's a shorter arc, but it can operate within his reactionary gap and can be quite a devastating strike. All elbow strikes are close-in techniques, but the leading elbow is particularly close-in. In the clip that follows, I would encourage you to pay attention to the body dynamics. The precise and quite unique way the body is utilized in this particular strike to maximize shock impact. The kinetic chain from the ball of the foot right up hip, shoulder, elbow to deliver what can be a really devastating strike. Producing shock impact using your body dynamics is for a circular blow or a hooking blow. And what we do, this is very familiar in boxing, is the boxing coaches call it crushing a cockroach or stubbing out a cigarette. So you're going to turn on the balls of your feet, your knee turns, your hip turns, your shoulder goes in, and then the power comes in, either with a hook or in our case with an elbow strike. Okay? So it comes up, twists up through the body, and right at the end, you've got the dynamics of it. Very close range. Twisting up. Okay. So, as mentioned, the leading elbow is a major preemptive technique, and it is done from very, very close. So one of the things is your hands will be ideally up in some sort of unobtrusive ready position, probably the fence or a variation of the fence, possibly the thinker technique, or something like this. And by the way, I will be doing a presentation on unobtrusive ready positions in the future. From this position, the preemptive is launched. However, it is much better to launch from your hands in movement because the opponent, his eye will pick up movement. And if you launch from a static position, the first thing he sees is the start of the technique, and it gives him a chance to defend, to evade, etc. However, if your hands are already moving, this cloaks the technique. It sets up a pattern, and the technique then comes from nowhere. So it gives you a slightly enhanced ability to defeat his reaction time. So one example of this is a technique that we call the hat trick, which we're going to show now. Particularly if you take your hat off into this, like, relaxed. If anyone ever takes a hat off, that means a fight. There's a police officer just to emphasize, then the opponent is already picking up movement because of whatever you're doing, whether it's going for the peak of the cap as shown, handkerchief, scratching your face, any kind of movements. A lot of experienced guys routinely talk with their hands, and this builds in the without having to think about it, it gives them the ability that if they are in a confrontation, they're already used to doing this. The hands are moving, they talk naturally with the hands, and then they can then launch a preemptive from that. That's the reason for this. And so if you combine the distraction, moving hands, getting that preemptive going quickly, operating within his reactionary gap, and using the body dynamics as taught, you will be able to deliver devastating shock, impact, and drop the man.